Mo máa bójú ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣubúlẹ̀.
Mo máa bójú ọ̀run òkùnkùn ló ṣubúlẹ̀.
Mo ní ẹ̀ẹ́rẹ́ yìí o. Kí ni dé sí Yorùbá o ọmọ aráyé? Kí ni ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Yorùbá o ọmọ Oòduà o?
Yeyeyeyeyeyeye àwa máa ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ là ń bẹ. Yorùbá ń ṣera wọn nítorí owó. Yorùbá ń jìra wọn lẹ́sẹ̀ nítorí ipò. Wọ́n gbẹ̀mí fáláre, wọ́n gbáre pẹ́lẹ́bí. Wọ́n kò lè kó wájà, wọ́n tún kó lóko wá mú. Ọgbọ́n tí wọ́n gbọ́n ló gbé wọn délé ọlá. Ọgbọ́n náà ló tún padà wá sí gbé wọn mọ́lẹ̀ o. Àwọn tí wọ́n ti ń ṣọ̀gá lọ́jọ́ tó ti pẹ́ tún padà wá dẹni à ń fọwọ́ ti sẹ́yìn o. Yóò Yorùbá yoyoyo bí iná alẹ́. Yorùbá rúrúrú bí omi òkun. Yorùbá bàbá ni bàbá ń ṣe. Yóò Yorùbá ronú o.
Yorùbá sọra wọn di bọ́ọ̀lù fáráyé gbá.
Wọ́n bá gbá wọn sókè, wọ́n á tún gbá wọn sísàlẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yà tí ó ti kéré tẹ́lẹ̀ ni wọ́n gé kúrú. Àwọn tí àrífẹ́jọ́ tún ti dẹni àtijọ́. Yorùbá jókòó sílẹ̀ rẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ wọ́n fọwọ́ lọ́wọ́. Bí àgùntàn tí abọ́ rẹ̀ ń gbòrìṣà ilẹ̀ o. Yóò Yorùbá ronú o.
Oríkì màí burú títí kó bógún ọdún lẹ́yìn òkùnkùn bèrèbèrè ìmọ́lẹ̀ yàtọ̀ o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká pọ̀ Olódùmarè ká pọ̀ Balùwàyé káyé wa lè dùn ní ìgbẹ̀yìn ìgbẹ̀yìn lálàyò ilẹ̀ mọ́ pé ìyá o.
Ilẹ̀ dákun gbà wá o ilẹ̀ o.
Ilẹ̀ ọ̀gẹ́rẹ́ àfọkọ́yẹ rí. Alákòókà ó tẹ́rẹ̀ẹ́rẹ́ kábì. Ọ̀gbaragàdà bí ẹni yèyé mi ọmọ darúpalẹ̀ ayé.
Ilẹ̀ dákun gbà wá o.
Òjijì tí ka ìkàlẹ́ nù mọ́.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And you're welcome back. I'll
Thank
say,
you.
yeah. So, to my friends watching, at a point we're going to open the line, so you're going to ask questions. Okay. The effort is that the topic of this conversation tonight is that what can we do as Yorubas living in diaspora? What can we do to help our people back home in the face of all of this economic calamity, and including this security, the insecurity and the invasion that is now popular? So we're now talking about influencing from abroad, not just the money, sir. And you are telling us what Ilana Oduduwa could be a rallying point for all Yoruba sons and daughters in the UK. So I'm going to let you continue with that, because how are we going to make this happen as soon as possible? Starting from London. I mean, starting from the UK.
Starting from today.
Starting from today. I like that.
Yes.
So, what do you think?
I think the first thing, really, the first job of people like me is to really educate people in what it means to be Yoruba. One of the things that, and I'm not saying this because I'm Yoruba or Yoruba centric. One of the things that is fascinating about the Yoruba is really how our civilization was so advanced. I mean, I know we didn't have motor cars and we didn't have electricity and so on and so forth. But the civilization, if you take technology, you have to understand that there's a difference between technology and civilization. They're two different things. If you look at Yoruba civilization, it is one of the most fascinating things to really study. I mean, take, for example, the basis of the thinking behind medical practice. When you compare the Chinese, it's mumbo jumbo. It's about yin and yang. When you look at the Ayurvedic medicine of the Indians, it's also mumbo jumbo. Yoruba medicine is based on disease, just like modern medicine. We did not know the names of the kokoro. but we know that disease is caused by kokoro. We knew that smallpox was caused by something, by a factor. That's why we developed vaccination. The Yorubas developed smallpox vaccination. And it was a Yoruba slave that introduced it into the United States in 1776, a slave called Onismus. So one of our problems is that we really do not understand ourselves. We don't know ourselves. We don't know how good everything that is Yoruba is. We don't know how so far advanced we are. I was just looking for a piece of paper of what I was going to read out what Lugard said about us, but I can't. I don't know where. Oh yeah, I found it now.
Great.
In 1937, I'm going to read this. I'm sorry, I have to.
Oh, you have all the time in the world, sir. Please go on.
It was written by somebody, not me. This is Lord Lugard Lokoileo in 1937. He said, the Yorubas, who number over 3 million, and are amongst the most intelligent of African people. Lugard Loswanyel, that the Yoruba are amongst the most intelligent of African people. He said, they are keen traders traveling widely throughout West Africa and are unique in the extent of their urbanization. I will explain what urbanization is in a minute. The Yorubas have preserved their democratic institutions practically intact and have known what to select from foreign models. Two things take away from that. Number one is urbanization, and number two is democratic institutions. Do you understand that? That
I am following you, sir.
Only institutions were who are democratic. You just sit back and think. We are Yoruba. When you talk about civilization, people think you are talking about motor cars. No. Civilization is more than that. Technology ni gbogbo the other thing, but the civilization, that's what he said. Urbanization means forming cities. The Yorubas have been forming cities from time immemorial, and we were forming cities based on farming. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ la fi ń form cities. Iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀. Àwọn òyìnbó are forming cities with industrialization, but we were urbanizing with farming. That's how organized the Yorubas were. The second thing to sọ ni pé democratic institutions. Gbogbo táwọn èèyàn máa ń sọ tá a bá sọ fún wa ní nǹkan Yorùbá, old fashion, ìgbà òun nìyẹn. Democratic institutions. So the way we governed ourselves, káwọn òyìnbó tó dé, they recognized that it was democratic. That is, the governance of the Yorubas were in the hands of the people themselves. It was not in the hand of anybody. I mean, I did a program the other day where I was explaining what I meant by constitutional Oba system. So we had institutions, civilizations, institutions. Although we didn't write, one of the fascinating things about the Yoruba is that although we did not have the art of writing, we embedded information in our words. So, for example, Bashegu means something. Our stone or tree or whatever. Every word, or every Yoruba word has a meaning. So we had this civilization that we have, really just ignored throughout. We just, so one of the things that we need to start doing is to try and explain who we are. We need to start appreciating who we are. And that's the thing, that's the difference between us and the Jews and even the Chinese. We need to start. People think that Kweka Kama saw Yorùbá nìkan pé tá a bá ń sọ Yorùbá ó ti tán ọ̀ tá a ń wọ aṣọ Yorùbá ti. No, we need to understand that we are unique people. You know, àwọn ẹ̀ máa sọ fún wa pé I was writing a piece earlier, I think yesterday or earlier today, I can't remember, about the word Yoruba. Every nonsensical people will say, Fulani ló fún ẹ lórúkọ, Tamudi ló fún ẹ lórúkọ. These people, why would I mean, it's like saying somebody gave England or gave the English name. These people cannot conceptualize the fact that we as Yoruba, we are intelligent enough to name ourselves. We don't need anybody. I mean, in the tweet that I did there, I think there are 4 or 5 different guesses of where the Yoruba name come from. But what we know is that the word Yoruba existed by the 1500s, 1400s. The word Yoruba, that explorers have visited Yoruba land and have called us Yoruba. And ẹnìkan máa sọ fún wa pé àwọn Fúlàní dé ní 18 something.
07.
wọ́n á fún wa lórúkọ. When it has been recorded before, and you know, one of the ones I was talking about was somebody was saying that we are a tribe of Canaanites. So we migrated from whatever to come to Yoruba land. All nonsense. No evidence. Everybody thinks that because you are a black person, you don't have any, I mean, that's the problem. And we have bought into this nonsense. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Is that people are trying to tell us, you come from Nimrod, you come from Tamurudu, you come from the Yoruba people.
Back to the slave masters and the rest of them, I would say.
The Yoruba peoples have been Yoruba peoples and lived in Yoruba land from time immemorial. We didn't come from anywhere. We are indigenes of Yoruba land. We didn't come from anywhere. We Ibelolon Fiwasi. And this rubbish that people tell us.
Thank you so much for that. You see, the other part of my question is about physical meetings. Like you said, that can happen and start today. You go for it. We have a.
I'm on TV. I'm on TV.
Sorry. So, yeah, I can excuse you, sir, if you need 2 minutes. I can take a quick break, okay?
Yeah, can you take a break?
Of course I can. I will continue just before we open our line, okay? I'll put this up, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. So my question then was going to be, now that we have a contact here in the UK, the role that we would likely play in what will happen in the coming weeks, months, and possibly years in and outside Nigeria, you know, we have a contact. And once we start making a physical contact, like is spoken so far, I've been so fascinated, I have to admit, okay? And I believe that we can rely and build around this platform for everyone who is a Yoruba man or Yoruba woman here in the UK. This is the contact point we have been talking about. We can build on it. We can meet physically. Yes, we can make a difference. And I'm so interested in this, I have to say. So what I'm going to do next is that we'll take another break. But my friends on YouTube or Facebook, you can use this moment to still share the video, because there's a point, I mean, at a point we're going to take calls and you can phone in and ask your own questions too. This is just like the opening. And then I will be back. Yoruba Anthem. Let's use that for a minute.
She
Thank you very much. So I am, well, we are still waiting for Bashigun to join us. Still having his 5 minutes break. So when he's back in the studio, I would allow you. Then we'll continue. But for now, so far so good. If you're watching me from the UK and you want to possibly say something to add to this while we wait for it's back. Let me use more of the rest of my own time before I open the line and it can answer your questions. This is what we want to see replicated here, not just in the UK, across Europe, Yorubas across Europe, across Asia, Canada, North America, United States, Asia, including, Middle East. Is that what the place is called? Dubai and all that. So we want to see this replicated where Yorubas will begin to get, to make a physical, gathering where we can now discuss and impact in what's going on back in Nigeria. Some of what we're going to do are not for public discussion. They are really for general closed door discussion. You would likely to visit that. And I'm also going to try myself tonight to see if we can get a date out of Bashigun. Sir, thank you so much for your time so far with us tonight. And it's been a great pleasure, I have to say. My other question then, before I open the line, because there are people who likely ask you one or two questions, who want to ask you a few questions right here in the UK. Okay. So I told you before we started, I want to use this first meeting for people to meet you, understand you. You have your planned ideas on how this is going to play out in the long run. But our efforts right here in the UK is to see if we can build enough, a strong platform that can always give a very strong backing to the activities of Ilana, Oduduwa, the umbrella body for Yoruba nation in Nigeria. So we'll still come back to your ideas and all that, okay, which we may not really finish tonight. But talking about building our platform here in the UK, sir, do you have any plan of organizing a Yoruba, call it any name, seminar, summit, or anything anytime soon to bring this to physical, contact in a big way, sir? Do you?
The short answer to that is yes.
Do you?
In Ilana UK, we have two committees. We have a recruitment committee and we have an events committee. And one of the plans that the events committees are working on is we've been thinking, well, I mean, I can tell you, it's not a secret.
Okay.
We are trying to, for example, approach the Oxford Union as an example,
okay,
to have a debate of some description. We have somebody who has access to Chatham House. Again, we're in the process of trying to see if we can get a symposium or something going. So these are the sort of things that the events committee are planning. I mean, we although we accept that rallies and demonstrations are important, but we think that there's much more. There's much more to getting political power than just demonstrating. And the reason is this, that we Yorubas are much more intelligent than people think, or than what we ourselves think. And as from my point of view, if you say you are intelligent, then you cannot do things, and I mean, the first part when we were talking earlier about what to do was the question of identity. Identity, because until you understand your identity, you wouldn't know why you want to leave Nigeria. And you want to leave Nigeria because, as I said earlier, the land is our God-given land. Yoruba land is Olorun lo fun wa. And it is also our legal right as well, which is recognized by the UN, by the African Union, by Nigerian law. In fact, as far back as 1983, Nigeria passed law that self-determination is not illegal in Nigeria as far back as 1983. So the reason why I'm very keen on this question of identity is that it allows us to think that what we want independence for is so that we can do things the Yoruba way without looking over our shoulders. As far as I'm concerned, we are not fighting. We don't hate anybody. We don't want to be in conflict with anybody. The fact of the matter is, this is why identity is important, that we say to ourselves, we want to do things the Yoruba way. And I usually refer people to the period between 1952 and 1959. In that short period, the Yorubas were the most advanced in development anywhere in the world. In that pretty short period, and the television, France, we had an Olympic stadium, Liberty Stadium, Ibadan, with Olympic Village, Athletes Village, which was the first of its kind. Not just the stadium, but also there was a village. And it is that stadium where I watched Dick Tiger beat Jim Fulmer. The same place where I watched James Brown play. Same place where I watched Sheffield Wednesday play Western Academicals. That stadium. Now, imagine if the Yoruba nation was independent in 1959. We would be talking the same as South Korea, Lenny. We'll be talking the same as Singapore, Lenny. If from that trajectory, from 1952 to 1959, Taban Baloba then to today, we will be one of the most advanced nations on this planet. So when we are talking about advances, this is where our identity is important, that we know, we ourselves, we know how good we are. When you know how good you are, then you know what you can achieve. That is why the question of identity is important. That is, we want to do things for ourselves. And that is what we all need to agree, that we need to do things for ourselves. Now, if you want me to look at what we can do, the first thing that I will say is this. There is no political solution in Nigeria. Anybody who thinks there's a political solution on a journey, Afenifere has said we want restructuring. Who is responding to them? Nobody.
No.
Ninas is saying we want a referendum. Who's responding to them? Nobody. The Nigerian government is not interested. So the political solution in Nigeria is zero. The next thing is military solution. That is not military solution is anybody who thinks people are saying the Fulanis are very powerful militarily. The Afghan war took 3 years. Now, can you imagine if you then have the North facing the South, fighting on all fronts? The destruction that is going to happen everywhere. And when you start a civil war, you do not know how it's going to end. So anybody who's boasting, they've been having arms, the same Nigerian army they defeat Boko Haram. The same army they defeat Boko Haram. Say, I want to overrun anywhere. What is happening in Yoruba land is happening because those who are supposed to lead us tolerate the nonsense. Let me tell you something. If our 6 main obas, Alaafin, Ooni, Alake, Owa, and so on, if they declared Yoruba nation today, we will have Yoruba nation. Who's going to say, who will have the temerity to say no? That's the problem, is that those who we call our leaders are the ones that allow the nonsense to happen. I mean, between Lagos and Ibadan, how many police checkpoints, Lenny, and yet people are being kidnapped? If you go to the north, there's no checkpoint anywhere. It is because our so-called leaders tolerate it. Tinubu wants to be president of Nigeria, or Shibajo wants to be president of Nigeria. Ijo will not saw anything about the Fulani atrocities in Yoruba land. Nothing. These are the people who are supposed to be looking after us. They're supposed to be looking after the Yoruba people. Yet things are happening in Yoruba land. You don't hear anything from them. And they are saying I want to rule Nigeria here. And what I say about them is this, that these are wicked people. They're just wicked people. Because any human being, when you see another human being suffering, you provide succor. You feel for him. These people have no feelings at all. Anyway, so we have no political solution. We have no military solution. Okay, let's talk international. International bodies are not interested in our troubles because Black lives don't matter to anybody. And it is not just, this is why, I keep going back to the Jews. So you can't do it to the Jews. Black lives don't seem to matter to anybody. And the reason why it doesn't matter to the white world is because it doesn't matter to the Black world either. Let me give you an example.
Sir.
200 people were massacred in Nasarawa Koni.
Zamfara.
President of Nigeria, Zamfara, the president of Nigeria said nothing. So why should the CNN carry the news? Why would the BBC carry the news? Imagine if that happened anywhere in Europe. Just imagine if that happened anywhere in Europe. Our own president, said absolutely nothing. So when people are saying that that is not the problem. These are wicked. These are subhumans. These are people who do not. These are people who do not believe in humanity, who have no human feelings, nothing. That's why they can people will just be killed, and it doesn't make any difference to them. And if it doesn't make any difference to them, how can it make any difference to international bodies? This is the problem we have in Africa, that we are killing each other. We don't respect each other's lives. I'm not talking about politics now, or I'm not talking about tribal or whatever, that people are being killed, even your own people are being killed, and you have nothing to say. And then you expect the international people to say something. Say what? You don't care. Why should they care? So the international option is gone. So the only option we have is to go to the courts. That's the only option that is left. We don't have a political option. We don't have a military option. The international arena is closed. So the only avenue that is left to us is to go to court. And the advantage of going to court is this, that for the first time, it allows the Nigerian side to say something, to tell us why they behave the way they behave. The court is the only opportunity. I mean, look at Igboho goes to court. What did the federal government do? They didn't turn up because they are intellectually bereft. They went there and they are talking about jurisdiction. I mean, I don't know if most people know what jurisdiction is, but the judge had no power to hear the case. And that is all they say everywhere. Kanu has just won the case also in Umwa here or whatever.
Yeah, they can't even win in their own court. You are right.
Because I mean, can you imagine Malami is the Attorney General of Nigeria, an illiterate, an illiterate. So what is open to us is really to go to court. So press conference. It's not going to get anywhere. But when you go to court, they have to turn up.
You see, our listeners, sir, our listeners will be wondering why you keep repeating court and court.
Okay.
I would have loved to dig into that based on what we shared, but we won't do that because that's like us now trying to tell them, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. Let's come back to what we need people to come together. You've done so well, sir, letting our people know the value of this whole struggle, conversation around why should Yoruba still be part of Nigeria or not, the role of individuals, wherever you find yourself all over the world, your role as a Yoruba man, what to do, is exactly why we're having this chat. In the UK, I told people, I said, I'm looking forward to a day. Sorry, is that an audio or what have you done, sir? Sorry.
Yes, it's an audio. It's an audio.
Please, sir, help me tell them to turn that off if possible.
Yes. Okay, just give me a minute,
please.
I don't want anyone that.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Okay, it seems that it's late. We need to know that it's late, and this conversation probably is happening in Baba's room. Okay, so we're gonna respect that for the few sec. Okay, so my next question, which is gonna be my last question before I open the line, is about if we can force or get a date out of Bar Shegun tonight. I want to see people physically. I want Yorubas to sit together and people of different backgrounds as Yorubas sitting together to share their own views, ideas on how can we make a difference. It's about making difference now. All right, it's beyond social media, we say. So Bar Shegun sir is back. Hello, sir.
Yeah, what I was going to say, the reason why
you see me, I'm sitting in my room for this studio, sir, right? So I can imagine if the room is going to be, needed anytime soon. I'm just going to apologize to everyone around you tonight. We'll be quick. So, sir, my own question is about how do we start and support the Ilana in the UK? You said something about when you joined Ilana, you paid a £5 as a member. So does it take what do you call it, £5 to join Ilana in the UK? One.
Oh yes.
Secondly, must you be a member of Ilana Oduduwa before you attend Ilana Oduduwa organized Yoruba summit in the UK?
No.
And when can we be part of any next summit as soon as possible? If you can merge all this together in one, I'm going to open the line after this, sir.
Okay. I wanted to talk. The reason why I wanted to talk about the court case or the court cases, is because these are very important and lawyers.
I know, but it's just like us saying, I know you have your program already going, right? So going deeper into how we're going to fight a legal battle and the rest of that will take us another time.
No. I'm not going to explaining the thing. What I wanted to bring out was that lawyers cost money, and part of this fight is that we need to support this fight with money. Don't let's deceive ourselves. You cannot have self-determination with no money.
That's true. I was coming to that. I was actually, sir, let me put it this way. Maybe I should put it this way so that we don't jump the guns, okay? We need people together to understand the cause, believe in it, be part of it, right? Before they can now be committed to it. So this is the first time of talking to my friends. They haven't heard from you before. Maybe some have heard from you in another platform. The reason why we're having this chat is that this is Bar Shegun. This is the contact of Ilana Oduduwa in the UK. How and what would it take us to be part of this? When it now comes to how the whole fight is going to go, which you have already been on, right? Of course, we're going to get to that when we have our members, when we have our people. understand why we even need
Sorry.
the lawyers in this place.
Sorry
On,
to
sir.
jump the gun. Sorry
No,
to
it's
jump
all
the
right.
gun.
I mean, go on, sir.
What I will hope is that people will join us. I mean, one of the ways of finding out about Ilana UK is to go to our website, ilanauk.org.org. Okay, that tells you a lot more than what I can say on a program. You know, if you want to know what we're about, just go and look at the website. Just have a visit and see what we're about. You know, and that tells you a lot about our thinking, our philosophy, our mission, and so on and so forth. The program of events will come soon. You have to remember that my involvement or the new Ilana UK is only 2 months old.
I know.
We're only 2 months old. So all our programs are now being formalized, being costed, being, you know, everything. We have a think tank. I mean, that, you know, a committee that's churning out ideas on where we're going and so on and so forth. And I didn't want to preempt by saying things to you, which is really unfair on the committee, because it means whatever it is I say, they've got to, you know.
We're going to take you for your word, sir. I know.
Exactly.
No, if you have to make a contact on that, I mean, that's beautiful. Okay. So we can leave the part. Yeah, we can leave the part of what should we expect another. Okay. But when you talk about registering, I want to take that again. It's so important. Okay. This is us now mobilizing before we have any physical. You are already doing it. And you mentioned your website, sir. Website where I can go on there right now and register to be a member of Ilana Oduduwa. Is that yes?
Exactly. And it will cost you a fiver.
£5 if you are registering from the UK, right?
Yes. Now, when we decided that it was going to be such a small amount of money,
right?
Everybody was saying, and so on and so forth. And I said to them, imagine if 20,000 people joined. Times 5. Imagine if 40,000 people joined. Times 5. So the idea that the money is small is, I mean, it is small if your number is small. But if your number is large, you don't need each individual to then sweat. You only need a small contribution from each individual if you have a large number.
Amazing.
And the reason why you need a large number actually is because you are trying to re-educate people. Remember what I said about, I mean, I know I keep going back to this question of identity. That question to me is a very, very important one, identity. That once we start thinking Yoruba all the time, it will be easy for us to be mobilized. It will be easy for us to join groups to help doing things, because your brain is Yoruba brain. That's why it's the question of identity is important. But as I said, if you are paying a small amount of money and there are many of you, you accumulate a lot of funds. So again, our website is ilanauk.org.org. You can join. It's easy to join. It will cost you £5.
And then when we talk about the £5, just a quick one before I open the line, because I have people on the line now trying to call in. They want to talk to you. So what we'll do is that we'll let them ask the questions within a minute. Then we take, first 2-3 calls. Then you answer their questions all at once. We take another one.
That's fine. That's fine.
So the £5, is that going to be the membership fee every month or a one-time pay?
No, it's every month.
A membership fee. I like that.
So it's £60 a year. Again, multiply 60 by 20,000. That's a lot of money.
It is in a year, and that can do a lot.
Exactly.
In educating, in living battle, in every move around the world for you. I love that, sir. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to open the line. We're going to take another break. In case if you want to take a tea break, sir, you can go for it. Okay, 2 minutes.
I'll just have a glass of orange or something.
Oh, did you? Okay. I will get my own cup refill, sir, for another 2-3 minutes. And when I get back, we'll begin to take calls.
Okay.
And I won't take all your night. Don't worry.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
So, sir, I will be back in a minute or two, ladies and gentlemen.